Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Danny from the podcast and now a YouTube channel. And I'm here with Mason Molina, and we're going to go front to back on his
1986 FXR.
1986 FXR Choppy.
What up? I'm Mason. This is my Big Twin Evo chopper. It's got engine from an 86 FXR, top end rebuilt. Me and my buddy did that. The frame is a 2000 Softail that me and my friend, we chopped the back end of it, bent our own pipes, put it in a shovel head jig. And then I got the axle plates from this old timer in Virginia. He's a caster, and the pan head cast from the originals. Sissy bar, that was made by another buddy. Seat, holstered by Rex Upholstery. He's a badass in Southern California. Me and my buddy made the seat pan for it. Bars, I had these made from a guy I met at the SoCal Swap Meet in Long Beach. Outskirts Cycles, cool dude. I really wanted to go with something different other than just mini apes on little risers. So I had the mini Z's made. I think they're like 10-inch on the rise. I've got 35 front end. It's an old Showa lowers. They're the ones that there's only like, they're made for like 2 years. So getting the forks, the fork tubes made of them was a pain in the ass, but Forks by Frank hooked it up. I got 21 in the front, 18 in the rear. Like a tall and skinny, keep it chopular. And then a shovel head oil bag.
Hey everybody, it's Danny here. So at this point in this video, you're probably thinking, hey, he's pretty much said everything he has to say about his chopper and the video's over. But a very interesting thing happened here, and where Mason just kind of went through all the parts and got through the explanation of what his bike looks like in 2 minutes flat, which all of these chopper walk-around videos could be just that, you know? But I need money, and to get money, I need length. You know what I'm saying, ladies? And to get that, I need more than 2 minutes of a chopper explanation. Therein lies the problem. If these bikes aren't much, it's a frame with a motor, a transmission, and an oil bag on the inside, right? And then you got forks with a front wheel, handlebars up top, rear wheel, rear fender, sissy bar, seat. That's it. Boom. There's every chopper walk-around video on the internet ever. But very shortly after, I asked Mason to just talk about how this bike came to be, not what it is. Because I have a feeling that, much like you'll see, everyone has well, my bike is this, this, and this, right? Very cut and dry. But a lot of people are probably going to have some stories of, oh, I got this part from this guy, and then me and my buddy stayed up late doing this, so we can get this, so we can get it to this show or this event. And after I just asked that simple question, he just opened up and talked about all those little stories. So here they are. Back to the video. Enjoy.
I just talked about the whole process of it. It took fucking...
Yeah.
Okay, so like people say building a chopper is, you know, easy, or it's like not easy. I've heard it go both ways. I've heard people say like, oh yeah, just, you know, get this and get that and throw it all together. And it's never fucking actually works that way. Like this bike, it took 4 fucking years, man. Like the first thing I got was the fucking engine. I got it off my buddy's shop. It was just on the floor. I was like, dude, I want to build a chopper. I need an engine. He's like, well, fucking take this FXR one. I was like, okay, sick. Let's fucking run that. And that was like the start of the bike. And like I've done other chops before. Like I've done a couple Sportsters, shit like that. And this was my first bike I did from like the ground up. And it was a fucking pain in the ass. I moved like 3 times in the whole process of building this bike. The first thing I got was the engine. Started working on that with my buddy, And then I found the roller. There's a couple other of my friends, they had softails that they chopped and turned into choppers, and I just thought they were fucking super sick. My buddy Spencer Wallen, he's the one who kind of like inspired me to make the softail chopper, the big twin chop. So I found a roller out in Arizona, drove out there on like a work trip, and like, so I was able to like expense it. I picked up a roller for like $1,000. It was an old softail heritage. It had like wide glide on it, but it was just a roller. I didn't use fucking anything from that. I should have kept some shit, cause like putting like the Frankenstein shit together was a nightmare. But chopped that, took it over to my buddies, Highwayman Cove, Jake in Oceanside. Big shout out to that dude, he's a badass. He helped me, or I helped him make the frame for it. That went all pretty smooth, but then finding fitments, spacing, all that shit for the back end was kind of tough. We kind of got it all dialed in, and then when I moved to New York for a hot minute, and I kind of left the project on hiatus for a little bit. But some of the things what I did when I was away, I was like looking for parts, always like searching for parts. A lot of parts came from homies. Tony's in Oceanside, English Tony. His, my buddy, Brandon, he worked there and he worked at Ghetto Choppers. Rest in peace. Love you, bud. But he hooked me up with a lot of like the internals. Like I got my whole drivetrain, like the primary and the pulley, I got all that shit from his old dyno actually. And surprised a lot of this shit works together, but some of it doesn't. So it's like a newer style OEM case for my tranny, but it's, on the inside it's got Baker guts from the same dude I got the panhead axle plates from. And then fitting that, I got this fucking the wrong inner primary. It was like I got a newer Model 1, I needed an older Model 1. But I was concerned with like it matching up with the engine and the transmission. But luckily Brett over at Top Dead Center, that dude's a badass. He kind of did some like chopper wizardry magic and like made some bushings and like made everything work. And because when I first started it up, it was just fucking dumping primary oil, and I was like, fuck, I don't know where the fuck that's coming from. And then it was coming up from the shaft, from the transmission. But yeah, all before that, it was all in pieces. Took it over to Jake's shop, Highwayman Co., and we like put it all together. It was like basically ready to go. It was basically a roller. Everything was in there. And then I was like moving the next fucking day to here, to Texas. So I loaded this up, loaded like my mini chop up. I had like another bike at the time. I loaded that up, bought a trailer, moved out here. And then it just sat in my girlfriend's garage for like a couple months. And I met my buddy Alex out here, and he's another rad motorcycle dude. And he was like, dude, why don't you fucking put that thing together? And I was like, okay, like, I was like doing electrical work. I was like, didn't have like a real job yet. And so I finally like got a better paying job and more consistent work. And so I was like, I had some money to throw at it and just kind of like make it happen. So I had everything, but there was just lots of like little bits and ends of shit that I needed to find. I like didn't have any fucking bolts. You know, like the bolts that I had, they're all mismatched, or like somewhere fine thread, somewhere coarse thread, and like I just wanted everything to kind of match. So if ever I like broke down, I could basically figure it all out. So yeah, it just took me like a couple months to find all the little bits and knobs and bits and pieces. These fucking forward controls, they were like the most standard basic ones I could find because I didn't want anything like flashy. And I didn't want to pay like $600 for shit. Fucking shit's not cheap. So I fucking found these ones and I bit the fucking bullet. I actually had to pay like too much for these. But they look good. The bike fucking runs great. It was like way more fucking work than I anticipated. It's like I've always like had bikes, built bikes, you've done a little bit this and that to them, and it's always like, fuck it, it's a chopper. But I mean, if you're going like 120, like you don't want your shit to fall apart. So this was like the first bike that I did from the ground up. Like it's got everything I wanted. It's got the fucking mellow forwards, it's got the big twin Evo, it's got the S&S, the fucking sporty tank, the rigid softail, the 35, 8-over front end. So it's got everything I fucking wanted, and it fucking works now. And it's like, it was a labor of love. And the next thing I'm gonna do is probably ride the shit out of it, and then probably do another Sportster, because they are way fucking easier.
Yeah, what was it? The trip to Lockhart, was that like kind of a shakedown run? I remember you telling me, or you had like just kind of gotten it together?
Yeah, the trip to Lockhart was like the longest ride I did, which wasn't that long. I mean, it went up to kind of tropical, and then like ripped it around the neighborhood and shit like that, but never done like a, you know, I mean, I still haven't even fully opened it up yet.
Yeah.
You know, I've only got maybe 150 miles on it. I just did the first oil change like a couple days ago. So it's got fresh oil, it's like ready to go. The next ride I'm gonna go up to Denton for, it's called like Outlaw something. Burnouts.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ride up to Burnout, and that'll be like my real like shakedown, you know, like three hours, probably take 4, because we're gonna take back roads. And then, I mean, my whole goal for this bike, it's like every year that I've like started working on it, I'm like, I'm gonna get it done by Born Free. That's the fucking, when I was living in San Diego, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done by Born Free. Fucking 4 or 5 Born Frees later, it's fucking ready.
Like now you got ready for Born Free Texas.
Exactly. Like I was here last year, and I was like, it was fucking so close. I was like probably 90% of the way there. Like just rebuilt the forks, had all that all like tits, everything was in. I'd just gotten it back from powder coat, and like basically everything was all together, but not like together. And I was like, it was at my buddy's house down in like fucking Houston. It was down at my buddy's house because he was getting the powder coat done by me for me. Fucking my buddy Woody, known him for way too long, but he helped out a bit too. He's like, I was basically storing the bike at his house. He's like, yeah, we'll get it done. I'll get it powder coated, and then we'll just slap it all together. And it should be good. And like, powder coat ended up taking like 4 fucking months, because the only dude in Houston is like this old dude, and he like got COVID, and so he was like assed out for like like six to fucking 5 months.
Yeah.
And so my bike just sat for a long ass time. But it finally got fucking done. And then it was just sitting at my buddy's house. He was just busy all the time. So I went and fucking grabbed it, brought it up here. Finally like finished it. Just my buddy Alex came over, and he would just fucking kind of smash it out. And we, it was like all ready to go, and we were firing it, trying to get the timing right, tuning the carb, all that shit. And so like after like a week of fucking with it, took it over to fucking Top Dead Center. Fucking Brett, I was like, dude, can you help me out? I'm fucking pissing primary oil. I can't get it to, we got it to like idle, but it was sounding like fucking shit. And, but yeah, oh my God, it runs like a fucking champ now.
Yeah. You were saying something about your passenger pegs?
Yeah, okay. Just put those on yesterday. My girl's been bugging me. She's like, when are you gonna put passenger pegs on? I was like, when I can make these fucking ones that I got, because I spent, you know, another stupid amount of money on some passenger pegs, and they didn't fucking work. So I just got these from my buddy, and they're just risers. zapped them, cut them in half, fucking threw them on there.
Whatever works.
Whatever fucking works, dude. One of the hardest things to do though on this whole bike was probably the back wheel spacing. Getting all that right, and really honing it in. Because when I first put this all together and like mocked it up, the fender was like just perfect. But then, you know, 4 years later, 3 moves, a bunch of shit, you know, you lose parts, you lose shit, you have to reorder shit, you have to redo shit. And when my fucking tire was rubbing like hardcore. I couldn't get like a finger in through the bottom. I could like get like 2 fingers in there. And it's just like, I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking blow my fucking tire up or some shit. And but we finally got that all dialed in. And it's like, I had to cut tabs and re-weld them. It was a fucking nightmare, but it's like, I've now gone over every fucking bolt, Loctited fucking everything, found every little fucking stupid thing that could go wrong. And it's like, I mean, I built this bike because I wanted to do chopper rides, but I wanted to do like long rides. I wanted to like ride in New York. I wanted to ride back to California. I wanted to ride to Mexico. I want to go to Canada. You know, I wanted to fucking rip. And like, now that I know everything's solid, I mean, the only thing I got to do now is just put miles on it, and I'm like, get fucking fucked with miles. That's all I really want to do now. And I'm fucking stoked. I'm fucking excited. Like, that's why I built the Evo, you know, the big twin chopper. It's like, people are like, oh, it's a chopper, it's gonna rattle itself apart. I'm like, you can tighten shit, you know? I don't have to like rebuild my top end or fuck with my tap hits every, you know, 600 miles, like a panhead or a shovel head and all that shit. Like, sure, you can hone those bikes in, but you're gonna be working on them a fuck ton. And I'm like decent at a lot of shit, but I'm no fucking specialist. So like, I'm hoping I bought and built the bulletproof chopper.
All right, that's all the time we got for you today. Make sure you follow the podcast at Kickflips and Kickstands Podcast. Like and subscribe the YouTube video and channel. I have to say that. You got anything you want to plug? Any kind of business ventures or anything?
Hit me up for pottery, electrical, or yeah, that's about it.
Yep, hit them up. We'll put Instagram, all the fucking nice shit in the comment section.